Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Valagar Aloevain. Alright, so we're finally on for a last part to Red Fence. So in order to unlock this one, you do need to complete the 3 quests leading up to this point. From there you want to recall or head back to this main camp where you first enter, and you'll be able to talk to Raven Wing. Alright, so it gives you a quest for the Swahagan Stronghold. Now it is a bit of a run. It's actually all the way here on like the other side of the zone. It's not actually showing you where on the map, but it's right about here-ish. And I'll show you here how to get there as well. As well as a little trick once we do. Oh. It's early morning still, never created those bolts. Alright. So much like the last quest, the Last Stand, which coincidentally was the last one that I had run out here. You want to make a right as soon as you can here, heading up towards the village. So here is our village. We don't actually want to go inside, but we want to run right past it here. And once we do, we just kind of want to hug this wall all the way up till we see the waterfalls here. So keep hugging the wall, keep hugging the wall, and here's our waterfall. So we're going to climb up the waterfall here. Alright, and then we're going to climb up this one here as well. Now there's a bit of a trick here. Once you've completed, talk to the guy there to pick up the quest, the actual quest itself is to walk to this guy and just turn it and like talk to him. But there is a little bit of a bug in the game. Whereas when you talk to him here, it opens up both the quest reward and the dialogue. Now, before you select anything in the dialogue, you want to make sure you select your quest reward. Otherwise, it won't actually give you count for this here. So, the Swahagan Stronghold quest completed. If we didn't talk to him first, it wouldn't allow us to get that completed there. From here, now we'll just use their dialogue option and have him send us to the quest, and away we go. So once in here, once everything smooths out a little bit. Alright, so this quest is quite unique. It was the first one that actually brought in real underwater combat in DDO. And if I'm going to be 100% honest, it feels just like every other combat. Like here you are, you kind of walk on the ground, you can't actually go up, you're stuck on the ground here. Alright, so once you've talked to the guy outside the door, or inside the door, then we can just head right on out. Now, once we're out here, we have a giant map, and it is opened up for us, as you can see. So there are 5 points of interest. There's the Royal Temple, the Mines, there's the Demon's Pit, the Palace, and then right here where we came out, which was the Rebel Hideout. So the 2 main places that we need to go is we need to go first and foremost to the Royal Temple and to the mines. So you have to go in either one. It doesn't matter what order you go in, enter those, but you do need to go in both. Now, while you are walking around, if you talk to the priest here, they're going to ask you to grab 20 sea paws, which are just these little things on the sea floor, and you just pick them up for a little extra experience. I will not be picking them up, as it really, that's it. Like, you just search the place, pick them up, keep going. Alright, so a couple of points about combat out here. The Swahagan, though they start off swimming, they eventually just come right at you. As well, fire damage out here is vastly reduced, whereas lightning damage is actually quite increased. Here. So here's the mine. So once you enter these rooms, we're out of the water for now, and we're back on dry land where we have normal movement function. So yeah, while you're in the water, if you jump, it's like super slowed, and the like. So in here we do have mages, which do control the minds of the Scrag.
Across the room,
Once they are eliminated, the Scrag will kind of not appreciate the fact that they were being controlled. So they will start fighting on the Swahagan there as well. Alright, so once our welcoming party is dispatched, we can hop down and head further in. So again, as you see, the troll there is charmed. If we kill the guys, which would be the mage, then the charm would be released. In the meantime, however, as you can see, they are just going about their own business. You can, however, attack them, and it does count towards the amount of Scrag that you do need to slay for the optional, as well as it makes it a little bit easier, as if you get to these points, the mage might actually have them attack you there. Chest. Okay. And once you get to the end of each of these tunnels, they will have a large room, though we're not quite there. This is still along the way. Stairs. So we can head up the ramp there. There is just one more, or a couple more Scrag, sorry. Other than that, there's nothing else up there. We want to stay on this level.
It'll be difficult without the Scrag's brute muscle.
And head to the other side here. Those are all standing so nicely for us. Alright, so once we get to the end, we will see some gates, which will bring to us our next section. So in here we do have some breakables. So again, if you want to grab them, obviously feel free, as well as you see, set of shrines. Now the gate itself is on a time lock, so once you pass, it's a can't come back unless of course you completely exit and then come back in. Now what we have here, this gate, once we step on it, it's actually going to drop down there. It's a pressure sensitive gate, and it'll drop us down into this room. So do that. From here we have a main caster,
The High Mage sits
as well as a
protected by his magic.
giant statue.
Before the mage for the moment is a huge Scrag. You sense its confinement is
Do
temporary.
this, and basically it's kind of a small miniature boss fight. The objective eventually is to break the water elemental out of the her frozen case. So we start by taking out the Scrag. Once that's done, big old top decides to head down, as well. At that point, our water elemental is able to be attacked. And essentially you just want to break this completely here. Once it is broken, it will actually start helping you. As well, it gave them some unique dialogue there. But essentially you just need to kill the guys and release the mages there. Alright. At the end we will have a small pile of gold and a chest. The chest does not contain named items. It's just kind of a congrats on making it this far. We're going to continue on to the back of the room. We have a set of shrines. Once you're done, if you need to shrine, just head on through the hole here, and it'll actually port you back out into the main area, though not where you entered. So we used the mines, it popped us into this corner. Now, one other thing to mention is over in this far corner here, the top left-hand corner, there actually is another optional that we can do. This is that slow falling I was talking about. And while you're falling like that, you're unable to really get any traction in moving forward. Honestly, the best way to maintain your speed is not to jump at all. Just simply run, which is a little difficult for me because I tend to jump a lot all the time, as I'm sure you guys have noticed watching my videos here. Alright. At least I'm 90% sure that that's an optional. Might just be a few more guys to kill. because the reduce the loyalist patrols is simply just killing all the enemies out in this section in this area. So not right here necessarily at this, but alright, so yeah, it was not actually Reaper. Okay, so I was a little mistaken there. Not an optional, but we did need to head on this direction anyway. And it did allow us to get a few more of the loyalists for the optional there as well.
You have reduced the forces loyal to Priestess Sleek here. The rebels will have an easier time of it when they make their move.
Alright.
Yet you could still
So
do
now
more.
for this
To
one,
your surprise,
very similar
a
to the
drow
other one.
woman
It
slips out of the
kind of
shadows
ports you out of the water
and beckons you closer.
and has you go through some tunnels, and in this one we actually have to free some drow. So you start off by talking to Tirza here, and of course if you have like multiple people in your group, of course you can split up by sending, you know, a couple of people on each side, some in the mines, some here in the palace, or not the palace, the yeah, it's not gonna show me, but some on the left side, some on the right side rooms, and of course that will speed things up greatly. So here we are. Now in this room here in particular, you do have a couple corrupted water elementals, which are attackable targets. I definitely recommend taking them out. Basically they're corrupted with the soul of a demon, which is why when they die they spawn like a Hezru kind of thing. From here, these are all our little prisoners that we need to save. Now in order to save them, there are some levers that we need to pull, which we also need to go, or individuals we need to kill, sorry, not levers. Alright, so at the top here, this one, and essentially we need to kill the casters here. Priest, and once the priest dies, it will drop the barrier on X amount of guys. Each one drops specific ones. So this one here, of course, will drop this one, as well as a few more in this main hall as well, but not all of them. To get the rest, you do need to head to the other rooms and kill the priest here as well. On top of that, killing the priests will also help you to unlock this door. So you do need to go through and kill the priests regardless. It's kind of a, you might as well open the doors and free the drows while you're at it.
A magical barrier of water pulses in rhythm to the not-so-distant hiss of Sahuagin prayers. Perhaps if you were to silence some voices, the barrier would be removed.
So,
Without a word,
so yeah, the other thing
scatters in
on
the
this little
shadows,
behind
seeking
this
Tizera's
little
secret door
head,
to freedom.
there is a
Most of the
secret door,
drow
which
are
will
either
have our
dead
guy again,
or on their way now.
or woman, and you'll be able to talk to her again. And there you go. It's nothing special, but, you know, flavor text. Alright, so continuing down, you will run into some more water elementals. They kind of are down the pass, as well as some more casters and some more warriors. Just make sure you kill the priests. Those are the important ones to kill. They are needed in order to continue and open up the doors as you move along. I believe there's one more door coming up that we do need. Oh, that hurts a lever. It's been a long time since I run these ones. Alright, so we do have a secret door here with a chest and a mushroom. Now, the one thing I don't overly care about in this quest here in particular, and there is a couple other quests like the pit, for example, is the map itself is fairly useless. So as we're going through like these little rooms, you don't know where you are in the room, where your party is. You're just kind of going out by feel. So I definitely recommend, if you're not too sure, that just make sure that you're sticking with your group. Um, yeah, it's makes it a little easier. Ooh, we got a Reaper. Alright. So now that all of them are down, our door is open and we're able to progress a little bit further. So just like before, we got a shrine, and then right there we've got a pressure sensitive switch. Just want to grab these breakables here. I'm gonna give myself a quick top off, and like before, the door kind of locks you in here. Alright, so this one here, unlike the other one, it's going to be kind of a small little arena style fight. Having guys spawn all over.
As you move through the room, the water around begins to bubble. The prison has more guards.
Actually, I think I was... This last one there I'm thinking of. It does still have a few spawns, as you can see. Now these spawns are based on how much hit points the imprisoned water spirit has. So it's not always the best idea to do exactly what I did and focus on killing it, as you might get overwhelmed. Just essentially go at your own pace. Fight the bound water element, the imprisoned water elemental until it spawns its, you know, wave. Kill the wave. Go on to the next one, so on and so forth. Whatever rate you feel comfortable at. Once you're done, to the left here we have a shrine, chest, and of course some gold. And then to the other side here, which I guess is north, but it'd be to the right side of the where you came in, we have a door here which will allow us to head out. Now that we've done both of these sides, both the mines and the temple, we are able to enter into the palace, which is the northernmost section. Alright, so as you can see, with the amount of enemies that you... sorry about that. With the amount of enemies that you do need to kill, there is a very large amount. So I don't recommend sitting around here and doing that. Of course you can do so. The XP itself though, it just, in my opinion, it really isn't worth it. So for the 20 CPAWs, you get 610. After everything, it probably closer to the 730 mark. And then the number of loyalists, that probably be closer to the 1800 mark as well. So again, not a large amount for all the extra work that you would have to put in order to do that. Such a long run.
With the elemental prisons destroyed, the Water Guardians have abandoned their posts at the palace gates.
So
You
what they're
can
referring
now
to
enter.
here is before you actually, those imprisoned water elementals, you're actually going to have them standing guard here. And they create barriers that are impassable, so you won't actually even be able to approach the palace yet until you free them.
You have
Once
reached
you
the
free
palace.
them,
It
it does
appears
let
that
you
the
in
rebels
here,
have already established a foothold. A gray-skinned Sahagan captain
which has
beckons you
some of
closer.
our friends. And we do need to talk to the water rebel leader, tell him we're going to finish this, and then they're going to go ahead and start their incursion here. They kind of place up barriers. Oh, we got ransacked, so I'm not going to worry. And here we go. So this one's super simple. It is just our end fight. Now this is the one that I was talking about that was the arena fight. So it has guys on top of the waterfalls as well. There will be enemies that spawn from inside. They're also going to bring in some of our troops as well to assist. So I'm just going to bring in our hireling. Tell the hireling to defend the... Alright, so there is a couple of waves here. And once the Scrag are eliminated, it does drop down the barriers, spawn in 2 water elementals, and it sends our caster after us here. So we do want to take on them. They do, as you can see, have a decent amount of hit points. We're at 6.6 thousand, so it might take a moment. But they're ultimately not too tough. Especially if you have a full proper group there with you. And once you're completed, that's actually not it. We do have another optional that it does give us. Now the optional itself is harder than the quest. So we are going to attempt it, but we might end up not making it. So first things first, we want to head up the ramps, and we're actually going to have a treasure room here. as well as a shrine, which I am going to get the hireling to use the shrine. So I am going to show you guys the optional. If we happen to die, I won't be using any cakes or anything like that. Because honestly, it's not worth it XP wise in heroic. Once you're in epic, the epic chest containing any shards or anything like that, it is located down there, so you would need to complete this section in order to be able to do that. Alright. So to give ourselves a little bit of an edge, I'm going to buff myself before going in. And some things that definitely help is a fire resistance. As there's some ugliness down there. Now, it definitely is a lot easier with a proper party in order to do this, as it is listed as a higher level than the actual quest. Alright, let's give ourselves some of this. And we just need to hop down here.
Causing the water to boil up. This is the Demon's Gate.
So this section we can't actually enter until we've killed the High Priest. Before that, there is a barrier up top preventing us to actually progress deeper in. So yeah, there is a bit of a fall. You know what? Let's give ourselves these as well. Alright, so once we're down there, there are going to be portals. These portals will spawn enemies, so you do want to kill the portals as fast as possible
You find yourself
whenever
in
they
Demon's
spawn.
infernal world, or something close to
So
it.
they'll spawn around the room.
Bubbling hot tar
On top
surrounds
of that,
Best
you have the enemy there, the Hezru, who will be fighting you. So you got to kind of obviously watch your hit points, fight the Hezru, and destroy the portals, because the portals will spawn in trash enemies. And as you can see, 20,000 hit points. So again, super difficult for at level, especially if you are running this solo. His damage is okay. On the ground here is tar, which is why we wanted that fire resistance. So I'm just there we go. So the portals themselves, fairly weak. Not a lot of hit points to them, but they do start spawning enemies fairly quickly. So if you're not on top of that, you can easily get overrun. And as you can see, the portals, they do kind of one-hit kill. So the best way is to just listen for the cues on the portals. And with some luck, and a whole lot of damage. So as you see, after a while they start spawning now 2 at a time. So what I'm gonna do actually here, now that we got him just about finished off, I'm gonna wait for him to spawn a portal. There we go. So I'm gonna and show you what happens if you wait too long with these portals here. It's not actually spawning anybody. Okay, well, you know what? Let's just finish him off.
Banished from
So there we go. So it'll start spawning in the enemies, which, yeah, they're also fairly difficult and can quite easily get overrun. Once you are completed, there is 2 more chests to loot. And if you are on the epic difficulty, you'll also get our legendary epic chest here. Got a soul eater, which actually is a okay low level staff here. So yay us. All right, and that's it. That concludes Into the Deep, which is our final quest here out in Red Fens. So thank you guys so much for joining. I hope you guys loved it, and I will catch you guys later. Have a good one,
From
all.
atop this overlook,